Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Aquarius for the week of September 20th to the 26th, bearing in mind that there is a full moon on the 20th or 21st, depending on where you live, and also that the equinox, fall equinox, is on the 22nd. So lots of shifting energies, shifting seasons. We've got full moon energy from moon's going into Pisces, so it's going to be very emotional full moon. Lots of vulnerable emotions coming to the surface, something to pay attention to for you this week. So let's see what the overall theme is. I'm going to cut the deck and pull a card here. For the overall theme for Aquarius's week is love. Interesting. Okay, so it's going to be a week of love for you, Aquarius. Let's dive into your reading and get more information for you about this week where you are being guided to focus on expressions of love. So the expression of love is one of unconditional. It's got forgiveness, compassion. With love being the focus, let's jump into the tarot cards to see what is going on for Aquarius this week. Okay, so we're going to cut the deck and let's jump right into the tarot cards. Okay, thank you. Now let's see what's going on for our Aquarius friends as they move through their week. Okay, Aquarius, and we've got the Seven of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So perhaps love is the message for your theme here, because in order to navigate your week, you're going to need to choose your path or choose your direction with love being the focus. Interesting. I feel like you're working on something right now. It's a labor of love, you might say. We've got the Three of Pentacles at the center of your reading here, which really says to me that you are working on the initial phases of something new for yourself. You're creating a new path for yourself, and the challenge you're experiencing has to do with your thoughts. Okay, so you could be overthinking things. Okay, you could be having a difficult time with a choice. So there is an energy around you as you create this new path for yourself, and as you get to the initial phase of sort of completion of, like, let's say, you know, you got to the point of, you got to step one, you got it out there, it was an idea, it turned into something you could see. You know, you're working on creating a sustainable, reliable path for yourself here, Aquarius. And the only thing sort of creating an obstacle for you right now is this idea that it's difficult for you to make a choice about where to go next with it. Where to go next with it seems to be the obstacle here, and that there could be opposing forces. And maybe you're communicating too much with other people and getting a lot of different advice. It's almost like, you know, now that you've got phase one off the ground, there is this like influx of feedback and advice coming at you. And it's causing you to overthink things, and also a difficulty in knowing which is the path of your higher self, which is the path that you feel intuitively drawn to. It's getting muddy because the perspectives of others, the projections of others are coming at you. And in order to be strong, to know the truth, here's another 8 card. You've got the 8 of Swords, and then you've got the 8, which is strength, which is Leo energy. So top of mind for you right now is the idea of, I know I can do it. You're confident. Your solar plex, your I can statements are very positive. You know you can do this. You have access to your personal power. Your confidence is high. You really believe in what you're doing, and you know you can do it. You know that. The thing that is creating a challenge for you right now is this idea of tapping into intuition and warding off the idea of others. Okay, so the projections of others onto you right now are creating opposing forces in your mind, where on one side you've got your intuitive vibe, where love will strengthen that. As long as you maintain that high frequency, that high vibration of love, you should be able to cut through the red tape, if you will, that you see in this card. So there are opposing forces here that are challenging you to make a decision on what's next. Right? What's next? You've already made it to the initial shell, the framework, the completion of the step 1 is done. And now that that is ever present in your world, it seems that the people around you are like, you should do this. I would do this if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Or maybe some people are saying, are you crazy? Well, you're taking that kind of a risk now? And it's starting to impact your ability to choose, but not your confidence. This is something that you feel called to, Aquarius, and it feels like you know you can do it. It's just the path ahead is the mystery. That's what's creating the mystery for you, is the idea of choice. The idea of choice and the idea that truth. You're looking for truth in your choice. You're looking for the true meaning of what this choice is. You know, you're looking for, it's very interesting here, Aquarius. You're diving deep into your mind. You're diving deep into your mind, and you want to take whatever you can from that mental discovery, and you want to express it in the external world, and you're confident in your ability to do so, but it's almost like you feel like there's something blocking you. And so it's almost like that's the point. The point is that you're going to get things to a certain point this week, and then there's going to be a lot of contradictory projected energy onto you that you're going to have to decide whether or not it's relevant. And it's almost like that's the point. It's like these things are coming in to almost see if you're ready for the next step. Does that make sense? It's like there's this idea that you need to be able to shine brighter than your critics, and you need to be able to understand that these constraints or restrictions that are sort of coming at you are temporary, and they're not even yours. They are sort of the construction, the mental constructions of others. And you could almost be in a place where you're hiding out from these people because you don't want to be persuaded by their ideas or their arguments, or, you know, like you don't want to be around that kind of energy because you're so sure. You're so sure in yourself. And so this is going to be an interesting week where will love be the thing to save the day? Will you be able to love the projections coming at you in order to banish them with light? Do you know what I mean? It's almost like if you give in to the fears that people are projecting onto you, you're going to end up choosing fear over love. And the oracle card of love, I think, is trying to guide you to choose love over fear. So I think that's what Aquarius is dealing with here. In the recent past, there was a big shakeup. In the recent past, Aquarius, you went through something that redirected your energy. Okay, it was something that changed your life pattern up enough that it redirected your energy. And now you're in a place where the upcoming vibe will require physical distance from these naysayers so that you can heal from whatever you need to heal from, but also so that you can get distance from people that are not aligned with your vibe. Okay, this could be a big phase of your life right now, Aquarius, is this getting distance from the projections and perceptions of the external world. And I think that some of these things are in opposition to you, right? There are things that are pushing an agenda that is in opposition to what you believe and know is true for you. And so the idea for you this week, this upcoming week, Aquarius, is will you choose love or fear? Will you choose love or fear? Now, your inner dialogue right now, Aquarius, is very much in line with the idea that you're not going to allow yourself to get sucked into the drama of others. Your inner dialogue as the King of Cups is very much a watcher, an observer. You are observing things, and you're being very selective with what you will allow in your cup, because your cup's open. You're ready to just observe, but there's a part of you that's like, I'm not letting that in my cup. If it doesn't resonate with love, then it's not allowed in, is sort of where you're at. That's the line you're drawing this week. And maybe you've been drawing it for some time, because, I mean, other people certainly see you as being like, I can make a choice about whether or not I'm here or I'm leaving. And there's a part of you that almost wants to, and other people see it, that's like almost walking away from the old you. I see this as the choice you're making between the old you and the new you. And when we look at the Seven of Cups that was on the bottom of the deck, we've got 2 sevens here, and another 8 right behind there, the 8 of Pentacles. So it's like, this is a very interesting time for you right now, Aquarius, where you're really picking your path forward based on a few steps that you've taken into the new chapter. And now you're moving more and more into that new chapter. And as you do, you're going to have, it looks like the biggest sort of challenge for you, aside from this action coming from the external world trying to hold you back or change your mind maybe, is will you make the choice that's aligned with your higher self? And will you understand the truth behind your efforts, skills, talents, and abilities? These are the questions that, and love is the answer for you, in the sense of, obviously I don't mean romantic love, but I mean love in the sense of having that unconditional compassion and open heart, right? Unconditional compassion means that I love you even if you choose things that I don't agree with. I love you even if you and I can't be joined right now. I love you even if you make choices that take you in a direction that is far from me. I love you regardless. That kind of love is the love we're talking about, not the I love you if, I love you but, I love you when. That conditional version of love is actually a type of control. So don't confuse those two as we're talking here, that this isn't the control version that people sell as love, where it's I love you but, I love you if, I love you when. This is the kind of love that it shines from your heart chakra, where it's full of compassion and understanding that we're all one. So and we're just making decisions based on our circumstance, our experience, our emotions, whatever. But that ultimately love versus fear is the question for you here, Aquarius. And I feel like that is coming through here when I see the Devil card in this position, which it really says to me that you're being pulled from ego to higher self, and that's where you're going to be able to make your next leap in this path that you've started here with the Three of Pentacles. It's going to be a matter of you determining whether or not this is in line with your ego or your higher self, bearing in mind that your ego's not this bad guy. Your ego's not bad. It's just your ego is trying to always protect you and keep you a little bit afraid so that you're safe all the time, right? Your ego is operating based on the rules that we have accepted up until now, right? And it seems like you are starting to channel new rules. You are at the end of a path that was painful, and it's time to love the new path that you're on, and to almost love the path that got you here without seeing it as a way of punishment, or seeing the Devil in reverse for you in this position really says to me that top of mind for you is, what is motivating me? Is it my higher self or is it my ego? And again, the ego's not a bad guy. It's just it is trying to be satisfied. It wants to avoid pain and suffering. And so it will almost keep you afraid so that you don't take risks, so that you don't do something that's outside of the certain boundaries, right? And when I feel like that's confirmed by seeing the Seven of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So it's like you are trying to make choices right now, Aquarius, and you want your higher self to be the guide. But as you traverse all of this opposing forces, the opinions of others, this need to heal from that, and then this confidence that you have from your intuition, it's like a balancing act. And love seems to be the tiebreaker. You go with love, right? You make your choice based on love, not fear, knowing that the opposite of love is fear, not this feeling of I don't love. It's I fear. If you go with what you love and you leave behind your fears, then I feel like you're going to be supported. You will be supported. But you know what? Sometimes that's the point. Sometimes the point is to go through this love versus fear opposition in order to understand love truly, right? So go with the flow here, Aquarius. Go with the flow. You are ending a chapter and you are getting up. You have ended a chapter through this process. You have ended. It's almost like an ancestral. I'm feeling like you have ended something ancestral, something that has been in your family, something that has been present in your life ever since you were a little person, little child, and you're ending it with you. And you're going to get up from it and you're going to figure this out. You're going to heal. You're going to allow the pattern of your life to be disturbed so that you can shake out all of that energy that no longer serves you. Almost like, those sifters when you're looking for gold. And you're going to do it. This card's in reverse because you're not angry at what got you. There's a part of you that's grateful because you're like, this cycle ends now and it ends with me. And that is a very powerful feeling I'm getting from your reading here. And it feels like you are really ready for it. And that the growing pains you're going through as you express this new chapter are part of the process. And I feel like if this is resonating for you, you're nodding your head going, yeah, I know I have to give it love, not fear. I know I have to keep my emotions as objective as possible so that I'm not getting pulled into the drama. I can observe without getting pulled into these other energies that are surrounding you. And it's almost like that's the point. That is the point right now for you, so that you can learn to balance the true self with the ego, and to figure out their intentions and their differences. And I feel like right now, your biggest fear is that you will somehow make a misstep. I feel like you're worrying about that. You're worrying about, what if I choose wrong? And, you know, we're going to close your reading for this week of September 20th to the 26th with a Moon Oracle card. And let's see if we can answer that question for you. Can Aquarius choose wrong in this process, or are they always going to be directed back to the self? Let's find out. For Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for September 20th to the 26th. Oh, it must be at the end here. Oh, interesting. I love when that happens. Okay, for Aquarius. Maybe I asked the wrong question. What messages do they need to hear most? Oh, that one flew out. Prosperity lies ahead. So keep going. Keep going, Aquarius. Your prosperity lies ahead when you focus on love, not fear. Amazing. You are headed in the right direction. You keep going. I think this week is going to be one where you examine what is love and what is fear, knowing that you are being guided. This is part of the process right now, and prosperity does lie ahead for you, Aquarius. Wow. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. If this has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, my email is in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends.